Hi guys, how we going? So I'm testing out this camera. Hi Colleen. The reason I want to use this camera is because I'm just making sure everyone knows. It's because when I go up close, it focuses. So if I play any videos, I want to know that it's going to focus. So it seems all right. Seems quite movable. Right, so we've got hi Colleen, hi Natalie, hi Linda, hi Elvis Presley. So we are called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. I was going to try and do a second video on Linda Thompson. Give it a go. Let's just make sure Melissa's on, because I know Melissa is very interested in Linda Thompson, unless she's gone to sleep. Obviously, you lot are in different time zones. Shirley, hi Shirley. Is Shirley new? I don't know. Is Shirley new? Hi Shirley, welcome to our little family. Melissa, gotcha. Because Melissa is the reason that has prompted me to do a second Linda Thompson video, but not just Melissa. I've had quite a lot of messages of people talking about Linda Thompson being at Elvis week. And I'm like, not all of you are Linda Thompson fans, are you? There she is there. There's a nice picture for you, Melissa. Hi, Finola. So, Shirley, not a new subscriber for 2 months. Oh, right, okay. Hi, Shirley. I hope you're well. Who we got else? What? Teresa and Natalie and Stacy. Deborah is back. Deborah, do you want me to make you a moderator? Because I've noticed that you're not a moderator. Do you want me to do it or not? Deborah, let me know. Now, Deborah has had technical issues. She's not been able to join us properly, and she can watch, but she couldn't comment for over a week. So, okay, I'll do it now, Deborah. I think I remember how to do it. You hover over the name and then you add, right? And then say, ta-da! We are sorted. Deborah, you are a moderator, baby. Now, the reason we use moderators really is to delete negative comments or trolls. I have noticed on the live streams that we have on the laptop and the wide live stream, so when we do the phone that way, you don't get trolls. We only get trolls if we do a live stream that way, and I've stopped doing those live streams. I only do them that way now to stop the trolls, because I know the trolls are bothering you lot. Okay. What's this going on? Let me just read your cop, Stacy. Right, let me just, I've missed a few comments. Has something happened? Let's have a look. So there's 30 of you on. That was quick. Welcome, guys. Welcome to, it's Louis in the Southwest UK. I'm in the kitchen. I'm just on water tonight. And I warn you, I give you a warning. My children are crazy. I am not their dad. They are my dad. They never listen to me. They shout at me. They tell me off. They ignore everything I say to them. So I will just do as I'm told. I'm hoping they don't run down the stairs, hit me, climb on me, push me around, ignore me, and scream. And then while they're doing that, the dogs will jump up all over the whole room, barking every time there's any movement in the whole house. So other than that, we're going to have a nice, peaceful live stream. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Let's hope it goes well. So I got a very long comment from someone about Linda Thompson. I thought we'd start off with that because I thought it would get you lot chatting. So I did send Melissa, because Melissa, I just want you to know, she's a great subscriber. She has very interesting views about Linda Thompson. Now, I will say this to you guys. I actually quite like Linda. How many of you guys like Linda? Seriously. I'm just doing a live. I did leave you some in the tray, and there's wraps there. So, how many of you guys are Linda Thompson fans? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I like her. She seems great. I love her old interviews. I've always thought that the way she speaks about Elvis is intelligent and fair. And let me just let's get a couple of her old interviews up before I read this long message. Okay. So I think we were playing this one. Yes, I want to try and get an early interview up. Yes, I did some myself on my phone. We're going to play them. There is a bit of background noise. Then we're going to play some interviews of her a bit older. And then I'm going to read this very long comment that someone posted me. And then we're going to start looking at Melissa's stuff. Let's just quickly read your comments. So generally, I think, looking at your comments, generally you like her. I've always thought she was lovely, just a lovely girlfriend. I've always thought it was good that Elvis quickly after the divorce moved on to Linda. I think there may have been other girls, but Linda was really the main one. We know about the relationship was 4.5 years. The first year they were together most days. After that, it was very rocky, and that Elvis was unfaithful. But we've also heard that Linda was also unfaithful. And the story that I've read about Linda is was she seeing the pianist? Was his name? Oh, what's his name? She didn't like the fact that Elvis would live like a vampire. So basically, he would be up through the night. He was awake. In the day, he was asleep. She didn't like it, so she would go and play poker with the Memphis Mafia and the guys. And she started to like one particular member. I took a picture of it. I'll just check. See, Melissa. Oh, that's it, Melissa. You read my mind. So, David Briggs, was he a pianist, Melissa? So you're going to get Melissa coming in with some comments. She's sort of helping me on this live stream. It's about Linda Thompson because she knows more about Linda than me. I'll be honest, most of the things I know about Linda are very positive. But I have had quite a few posts from a few people, not just Melissa, that are saying that there's a whole nother side to Linda Thompson that actually reminds them of Priscilla. So I just want you guys to know I am not trying to incite any kind of hate against Linda. I think she's lovely. I'm not against Linda. I just think that we are searching for the truth. We're called Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. I just think if you guys, the fans of Elvis, have got things to say about Linda, I think we should say it. We should discuss it openly here. So if you want to ask Melissa any questions about Linda, please go ahead because she wants to answer them. Yeah, Natalie, you're right. Everyone has a good side and a not so nice side. I agree. It is part of being human. Vanessa, hi Vanessa, are you new? Vanessa's right. She always speaks well of Elvis. I agree with that, Vanessa. Let me just quickly scan back a bit. So Yvette says she really loved Linda, but a little unsure lately. And that's what's happening with me, because I keep getting these different little things sent to me. So I do think there's more to the story. You know, some of you are saying to me that Linda, like Priscilla, has spent her life living off Elvis's, of the fact that she was his girlfriend. She oftenly says that she was with him the longest out of all of the girlfriends that Elvis ever had. Is this true, guys? Is this true? Obviously, we know that she was with Caitlyn Jenner. Is that? Hi, Elvis Presley. Elvis says he loves Elvis. Let's have a look. All right, Stacey. Sorry, Stacey, I've missed something. I'm sending you love, Stacey. What's happened? Oh, Stacey, that is so sad. So sad. I'm sending you love, Stacey. I missed that comment. I'm so sorry. Oh, let's all send Stacey some love. So sad. So sad. Always an odd thing when you lose someone. It takes a bit of getting used to. I always, you know, I remember when I lost my best friend, that you always feel that they're part of you, don't you? And years ago when I lost my father, you always feel that they're, I don't know, watching over you. That's just how I accept it. So I'm sending you love, Stacey. There's a lot of people here that care about you. So I'm sure things will get easier for you. Right, so let's just keep going. Okay, we got Philomena. Hi, Philomena. We were chatting earlier. Hope you're okay. Yeah, it's so sad, Natalie. Hugs, that's it. Huge hugs from Yvette. Prayers from Chris. The Bex is very sorry. So, hello, Eddie. How are we? Haven't seen you for a few days. Right. So, I was going to just quickly play a couple of videos, then a couple of old videos, just shorts. Then we're going to try and play some of her older. And then we're going to start reading the stuff that was sent to me. So it's not the sound isn't great on this because it's a very old video. And Linda Thompson, Elvis Presley's former girlfriend, talks about how they were constantly together unless he was performing or rehearsing. And she was with him every day for a whole year. She really did get to see the human side of Elvis Presley, not the megastar. She said as much as she tried to change his bad habits, Elvis couldn't change unless he was prepared to change himself. She said the best she could do was to be a stabilizing force and a positive influence on Elvis's life, and that she just gave him loads of love and tenderness, which is what he wanted. She tried as best that she could to curb his improper eating habits and reduced sleeping medication he took. And Linda Thompson. That's quite sweet. That I made that about a year ago. So I did notice one comment just now. I think it was Shirley. Let's have a look. I think Linda truly did love Elvis, and she was the one Lisa called when Elvis died. Now, if Melissa would like to comment on that. Now, like you, Shirley, I've always believed that to be true. I've heard it many, many times. But now what people have been saying to me is that on that horrible day, that Linda Thompson has a brother called Sam, who was a security guard for Elvis for about a year, I think. And that it was Sam that called Linda Thompson and passed the phone to Lisa Marie. So this is what another version of events because what Melissa was saying to me was that Linda Thompson likes to portray that it was that Lisa Marie preferred to call Linda over Priscilla. I think that's easy to believe because obviously there's a lot of people that are unhappy with Priscilla. So this is the other version of events. Now, this is why we're called Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth because we're just trying to get nearer to the truth. So, guys, do we think this is true? Yeah, so Colleen says it. Linda's brother first said that he called Linda, then handed Lisa the phone. Then over the years, it turned into Lisa called Linda on her own. So Melissa has said it. Yvette, yes, but after then, Linda just put up and shut up, and she was getting loads of money from him in the end. And Linda adored Elvis in the beginning. Keep commenting, guys. I just remembered, I don't think I've reminded Diana to join us. So let me just tell Diana we're live. Are you on, Diana? Yeah, so Shirley says maybe Sam dialed the phone for it. It's possible, isn't it, guys? I mean, we weren't there. So, but an interview with Lisa said herself she called Linda. Oh, thanks, Shirley. That's good. We'd love to see that. We would love to. We love a bit of evidence. And yes, was going to mention Sam. Yeah. So Kelly Dan. Hi, Kelly Dan. So Priscilla Shaw kept Graceland and the plane from picking up any of the girlfriends. Mary, I heard about that. That Priscilla. But isn't it funny? Because later on in years, I think Linda and Priscilla became friends, didn't they? Okay, you carry on chatting. I'm gonna play another couple of more videos. Great comments, guys. Great comments. Right. Hi guys, I'm just on the beach in my hometown, Weston-super-Mare. I was just looking at this very rare footage that I found of Elvis and Linda Thompson in the 70s. I'll play it to you. Let me know what you think. I really like this footage. I think it's around 74, 75. You can see Linda Thompson walking down the stairs with Elvis. I love what Elvis is wearing. It's so iconic of how he dressed in 74, 75, 76, 77. Can you name all the people that are with him? Subscribers. Send me a list of the names that you think of the people in this video. Linda Thompson doesn't look actually very happy there. She's a bit down on her face, but really, really, really interesting footage, this. And so vintage. Hi guys, I'm just on the beach in my hometown. I like that. I don't remember making that, but I like that. Let's keep going. Linda Thompson says that when she left Elvis in December, he seemed fine. She hadn't seen him for 8 months, but they had spoken many times on the phone. In the 8 months that she hadn't seen him, Elvis had really deteriorated a lot. She says, here's a man who had everything in the world going for him, who was spiritually sound, but emotionally had problems. She said he was the most gorgeous man in the world, the best looking man you could ever see. But Elvis had let himself go too far. This was very tragic. She says she got to see the real Elvis, the human being, and she lived with his vulnerabilities. Thanks, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed. Linda Thompson. I love these little cute videos that I did. I forget making them. This is the funny thing. And we were together so much because his work. Right, it's a But Gears, there is a bit of background music with this, but I want to play a bit of it.
You have to live with the vulnerability, the human fallibility daily. And we were together so much because his work was perhaps an hour on stage and a few rehearsals. And the rest of the time we were together. And even, of course, during his shows, I was there. So you have to view the person that you're living with as a human soul, not as Elvis Presley on the march. So it's a little disturbing to see him viewed just totally as a commodity now. And I think about the humanness of the man. You can't change a 40-year-old. It's not even fair to try. People change of their own accord. That's something I had to learn very early in life, that try as you may, you really can't change another person. They have to do that for themselves. And all you can do is try to be a stabilizing force or some sort of positive influence on their life. And I think that I was in Elvis's life. I certainly tried as best I could to curb his improper eating habits and to watch the sleeping medication that he took, sometimes too much of. As I said, it was difficult for me to fathom that he was gone, truly gone. And I reflect back to his lying in the coffin, and I saw him, and I know he's gone. But I guess it's difficult for people who didn't see him in a state of death to fully realize that he is dead. They want to believe that he's off in the Bahamas somewhere, and I wish he were. I believe that Elvis lives on. I mean, certainly he lives on even in this world, in our memories. But I think that he is in another dimension. And it's comforting to me, before I go to sleep at night, to know within my own soul that wherever Elvis is now, he knows who truly loved him. He knows who had high regard.
I mean, she's stunning, isn't she? She's a beautiful girl. So what I'm going to do, guys, I want to read this comment. We're going to play some more videos as well, because I just find it interesting. Melissa sent me this old picture. I can't really read it. Melissa, have a little look at that, guys. What do you think, guys? Right. So I'm going to read this clip. I have sent it to Melissa. Let's have a look. If I go to her name, then I can find it a bit easier. It's a very interesting point of view about Linda Thompson. I don't know how many of you guys know, but there is an event at Graceland, Elvis Week, and this is what it's sold out now. Should we try and read some of it? Limited availability, only 10 available, limited to 2 purchases across the celebrity experience times, an after hours Graceland experience with special guest Linda Thompson, who dated Elvis from 1972 to 1976. First, enjoy a guided tour of Graceland Mansion by VP of Graceland Archives and Exhibits, Angie Marquis. Then take part in a very special question and answer session with Linda Thompson from inside the Jungle Room as she answers your questions and shares her favorite stories and memories of Graceland. The experience also includes a photo and an autograph op with Linda Thompson. So that's a lot of money, guys. $1,250 if you got it. And I think, from what I can see, Linda Thompson is one of the most important people that's going to be at Elvis Week. It's pretty obvious Priscilla doesn't go there anymore. I feel that they're distancing themselves from Priscilla at the moment. Hi, Jane. You okay, Jane? Right, let's have a look. Oh, Linda, that's sad. Oh, Linda, I send you love and your son, Linda. Oh, is Larry going, is he? I love Larry Geller. Love him. But it's funny because Larry Geller was brought up to me today on one of the comments with it was the Greek poet. The Greek poet. Are you watching now? Are you there, my friend? He messaged me to tell me about the Jackie Wilson story, and you know the story where they take salt tablets. You know, there's a few of you have messaged me this story, but as far as I can tell, it's in Larry Geller's book, this thing where they take salt tablets to sweat. But guys, I've said it over and over again. I don't care what book it's in. I do not care what book this salt tablet story is in. I will never accept that Elvis took salt tablets to sweat whilst he performed. Never, never. I don't care whose book it was in. Larry's a good guy, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's a book. It's a story. So until someone can prove to me that that Elvis Presley took salt tablets to sweat when he performed, I will always say, in my opinion, I don't agree. Sorry. So to the Greek poet, that's my view, my friend. Okay, so let's go. Let's keep going. We are going to read this comment. Now, this comment, I warn you guys, this comment is quite brutal. It's about Linda Thompson. So there's 47 of you watching. If you please could subscribe. 78% of you don't subscribe. Please subscribe. It really helps the channel. Right, are we ready to read this? Aurora, do you want to read it? Okay. There you are then. I'm not joking. Do you want to read it? No. The wife's here. Please read it. Guys, do we think we should make Aurora read it? No, there's only 49 people watching now. Do you think we should make Aurora read this? It's quite long as well. Aurora, Aurora, Aurora. Oh, there's 50 people watching now. Yeah, they're all saying yes. Right, okay. I'm going to read it. Yeah, Linda, we love you. You know that. Right, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jane. Do you know what? If I nagged enough, she would do it. She would do it. She's a softie. Right, okay. Okay, I'm going to read this comment. This came through to me yesterday by Sigurat. Sigurat. Is that a sly way of saying cigarettes? Sigurat. Shall I show you? Sigurats. Right, I'm going to read it. Louis, I really think, this is about Linda Thompson, by the way. I really think you should read Linda Thompson's book. It will give you a clearer picture, especially because she tells a lot of things that she assumes people won't catch. She definitely cheated on Elvis with the keyboardist of Elvis's band. She tells the story of her book as how she was fed up with Elvis sleeping during the day and how Elvis was living like a vampire. And she didn't want to live like a vampire anymore. She says in the book she missed the sunlight and went to hang out with the band in the pool under the sun one morning and was having beers with them. That's how she hooked up with the pianist. So he's a keyboardist, a pianist. She said he made her feel special and seen. She doesn't say that she was cheating, obviously, but then she jumps into saying that she had a 4-year relationship with him that turned into a platonic relationship after those years having a sexual relationship with him. She says in her book how she found him attractive from the second she met him. Linda is good with her words because she is a songwriter. She wrote for Whitney Houston and Celine Dion. Words is what she does well. So do not believe what and how she says things. It's all a scheme. Now, it's pretty obvious she doesn't like Linda, but I'll keep going. She is friends with Priscilla when it is convenient for her financially. Well, I think that's probably true about everyone that's for the last 40 years that have anything to do with EPE and Gracelands, yeah? Because everyone had to go through Priscilla, didn't they, to make money from Graceland or EPE. She wrote for Whitney Houston and Celine Dion. Words is that what she does well. So do not believe what and how she says things. It's all a scheme. She is friends with Zilla when it is convenient for her financially. Linda and Zilla are similar with their lies. I don't think Linda is brilliant. I also don't think she's beautiful. She is beautiful. She was beautiful. She definitely was. I think she was very beautiful. She's aged very well. It's obvious she's had plastic surgery. We can see that. But she still looks great. I think she's made Elvis experience into a business. Yes, she has. I agree. Linda has had a life of making money from the fact that she was once Elvis's girlfriend. It's true. But isn't that quite common with many people that befriended Elvis, male or female? I'm not saying it's okay, but it's common. Right. Her job is Elvis, but it's because it brings her money from the fans. She also took a lot of items from Elvis, and she shouldn't have. Is that true, guys? She took a lot of items from Elvis. Then she auctioned them off years later. Did she do that, guys? Did she auction everything off? So she is so fake. I can't understand her. She always pretended to be a goody, sweet girl. She's still playing the card. It gets old and annoying. So you can see this person is like Melissa. Melissa, are you enjoying this comment? She's right. She always pretended to be a goody, sweet girl. She's still playing that card. It gets old and annoying. Melissa, I know. Look, I'm getting it. Yeah, I get it. You guys, you're the Elvis defenders, Team Elvis. You're the Elvis fans, as I am as well. And you guys have been messaging me saying there's an alternate story than what we're all being spoon-fed for the last 40 years. Now, I'm not on the side of the people that are anti-Linda, but I do think the people that are anti-Linda should have their say. I like Linda. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I like her, but I want to hear what you got to say. So Lorna is saying, Lorna says that she's so sorry to Linda. Let's just go back a bit. Yeah, leave the missus alone, Luke. Yeah, I know, Yvette. I'm just teasing her. I reckon if I kept going, she would have done it. Yeah, we know our Margaret is beautiful. So let's just see if there's any more comments here about Linda. Linda's prayers for you. Oh, let's have a look. Yeah. Deborah's back on. Deborah is a moderator. She's back on. We missed you, Deborah. Let's have a look. I saw on YouTube, Linda Thompson interviewed Larry King. She talks about Lisa having the presence of mind to dial her direct. Vanessa, yes, I know the Larry King interview. I think he interviewed her more than once. I may play a clip of it. And she comes across lovely. And she does, like Melissa says, she does bring up the fact that Lisa Marie phoned her first very regularly. I do think there's more to it. I do. There's a possibility that Melissa is correct in what she's saying about Sam, Linda's brother. Elvis gave everyone gifts. There is a difference between Elvis being generous and people taking advantage and taking whatever they can. And I can tell that Melissa and other people that have messaged me think that Linda Thompson took advantage of Elvis's generosity even after they split up. Yeah. So you tell me, guys, was Linda still living in the house that Elvis let her live in after they split up? Is there a story to do with Linda's parents living in that house? Is that right? And Priscilla wanted them out, so she wanted them to pay rent. You know, you guys will know more than me. Natalie, there's a bit more of it to read yet, but I respect that you don't believe it, Natalie, because we don't know if it's true, do we? Right, let me just keep going on that comment. It's not much longer. Right, but let's face it, she is a parasite. That's a bit extreme. In Elvis, like life, just like the rest of them around him back then. She really believes Elvis died because she wasn't there to nurse him. I have heard this story. Do you agree with this? Linda gives the impression that Ginger Alden had fallen asleep and should have heard Elvis and should have come to his rescue. And I've heard this many times from you guys on comments. So Linda gives the impression that if she was still with Elvis, that she may have saved him. Do any of you guys agree with that comment? From the impression I'm getting from all the different bits I'm reading, Elvis had gone off her and moved her out of Gracelands. Is it even bought or rented her a house to live in to get her away from Gracelands? Do you guys think that's true? Right, so that's all. So she really, I'll read that bit again. She really believes Elvis died because she wasn't there to nurse him. Give me a break. She acts like she has some kind of God in his life. Elvis couldn't stand her at the end of the relationship. He couldn't wait to get her out. Is this true? Is this true? I mean, it's obvious that the person who made this comment doesn't like her. She took his lion's head medallion and sold it years later when she was broke. Is this true? Did she have a lion's head medallion? I don't know. I've never heard of it. I'd like to know if it's true. So I think all of the craziness that she went through with Bruce Jenner was her playing karma for how she milked Elvis. She had no respect for Elvis's money. This is probably why Bruce Jenner didn't pay her a cent for child support. I don't know about this. I don't really know about Bruce Jenner. He, or rather, she knew how Linda is with money, especially other people's money. Zero respect. Okay, that comment has nothing to do with me. I'm just telling you. So I sort of open it up for debate. Now, I've always felt that Linda was really good for Elvis. And have any of you seen the TV dramatization of it? It's on YouTube. It's quite old. I'm guessing it was made in the 90s with Don Johnson playing Elvis, which is a bit odd, but he actually is quite fun to watch. And it's called Elvis Presley and the Beauty Queen. How many of you have seen it? It's watchable. The girl that plays Lena Thompson is very believable. It explains how they met and how their relationship unfolded and how it ended. So the impression I got is that Linda wanted out because she didn't want to be his nurse. It's pretty obvious he was becoming very unwell in his late 30s, early 40s, with his seriously chronically bad health conditions. He was a very sick man. If you guys go to Rhonda Presley Mania and watch her latest video, which was last night, so Presley Mania, Rhonda, she does a great video with Amy Collette, who is a researcher and looks into and has been looking into Elvis's medical problems that he had. And it's a great watch. I think it's about 45 minutes long. It's part one. I think there's going to be a part two, a question and answers. So if you guys want to get a good idea of Elvis's medical history and health problems, serious chronic health problems, watch Presley Mania that was on last night. It's very, very interesting with Amy Collette. Right, so let's play a couple more videos. I do like to play a few videos at night because... Right, let's have a look at this.
I think we can do that, right? Yeah. What was it like being Elvis's girlfriend? You know, we were kindred spirits. When the moment we met, we recognized each other as having known each other our whole lives because we had the same spirit. You know, he grew up in the South. I grew up in the South. All things Southern, that same religious fervor we shared, the sense of family, the familial ties, and cuisine, and just kind of down home people.
Nice.
As magnificent as he was, and as exalted as he was, you know, in the public eye, and as the kind of person he was still a very simple and kind and good man.
And
and then to transition to Bruce Jenner. Well, I thought I had found my normal. Don't anybody ask me for advice. No, I truly, when I broke up with Elvis, it was because I knew I wanted to be a mother and I wanted to have a more normal existence. And Elvis and I lived like vampires. We were up all night. He couldn't go anywhere without being mobbed. So we were up all night and slept all day. And I knew I couldn't have a child and bring a child into that kind of world. And he had a problem with prescription medication. So I thought when I met Bruce, I had found, my normal existence with this fantastic jock and
all-American man,
yes,
world's greatest athlete,
Olympic
at that time.
Yes, and a really good person as well. Moral and ethical and kind and easy to get along with. And now we have Caitlin in the family. So it's, and it is worthy of confusion. I understand that people have a very difficult time with it. Nobody understands that more than I do, that it's difficult to comprehend. But I like to point out that we don't have to understand something to just accept it and be kind about it.
Well, I love one of your major themes. I take issue sometimes when someone writes a memoir and all they do is slander everyone they've ever met in their life. I actually really appreciate the kind words you've had to say about people that you've met in your life. It's really,
I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. Thank you for pointing that out.
And I would say kudos to you for that.
I still love them. I still love everybody that I've ever loved in my life.
How does it go as co-grandparents with Caitlin? I have to ask.
Well, Caitlin is a lot more present than...
Okay, well, we're not doing a program about Caitlin, but I think that was a heartfelt interview. I think that's very good. So let's play one more, guys.
If you listen to Elvis's music these days, it's a little bit hard to believe he was once considered so rebellious. But some of today's edgiest musicians will tell you that they have been deeply influenced by the King. And now, 40 years after his death, we travel to Memphis. Here's ABC's Chris Conley.
40 years ago, Linda Thompson got a phone call at her home. On the other end of the line was a 9-year-old girl. It was Lisa Marie Presley.
She said, my daddy's dead. My daddy's dead. She just blurted it out.
Thompson had spent 4.5 years as Elvis Presley's lover and confidant before they parted in 1976. 1 year later, she struggled to believe what she was hearing. The King of Rock and Roll, dead at 42.
Presley was found unconscious in his mansion at about 2:30, was pronounced dead an hour later.
I first quizzed her, are you sure that he didn't just go to the hospital? And she said, no, he's dead.
4 decades have passed. How long? This year, Elvis's granddaughter, Riley Keough, was nominated for a Golden Globe, an award Elvis never won. And the love his hundreds of millions of fans have for the King of Rock and Roll and the electrifying music he gave to the world never did die.
I can't play music.
Country artists is music with Elvis.
Let's get past the music.
Well, we lean in a little closer here, a little more here.
As she chronicled in her memoir, A Little Thing Called Life, Linda was moved into Elvis's Graceland residence just weeks later. He confided a flaw that he had to you.
He said, I'll probably only admit this once, but I have a self-destructive streak. It was evident in a lot of things, but particularly in the way that he abused his body with prescription medication.
One humorous out-of-control moment would enter Elvis lore forever.
We were, the two of us, watching TV at Graceland. Robert Goulet happened to be on TV singing, "If ever I would leave you." And he says, "Honey, step out of the room." And he starts to reach for his gun. He says, "Just can't stand to watch this any longer." So I closed the door behind me and I heard boom, boom, boom. I walked back into the bedroom and the television's just shot to hell.
That TV, with its bullet hole, is among the memorabilia now on display at Elvis Presley's Memphis, a new complex of Elvis-themed museums, restaurants, and shops across from Graceland. A $137 million bet that Elvis fans will continue to make the trip to re-experience his legend. His backup singers paying tribute, performing Sweet, Sweet Spirit 40 years after they sang it at his funeral.
He's one of the greatest singers and entertainers of all time. Never seen anything like it. You know, back then we didn't have the smoke and the fire and the explosions on stage. It was him and the music.
For Nightline, I'm Chris Connolly in Los Angeles.
Oh, that was really interesting. I really enjoyed that. That was much better than I was expecting, actually. I love the harmonizing at the end. So let's just keep going with it.
I guess. And then he died 8 months later, and I didn't see him for those 8 months. We spoke on the phone, but I didn't see him. And he really had deteriorated a lot. Now, here's a man who has everything in the world going for him. And he was the most gorgeous man, I think, physically, who ever lived. Spiritually, he was sound, he was good, he was solid. Emotionally, he had a few problems. He was still a little boy. Never had an opportunity to fully grow up. He was doing things for him so much. But he let himself go.
It's all right, my wife. Sorry, guys, about that. Right. So you probably couldn't hear that very well. It's all right. Right. It's all right. My wife's just pulled up. Hi. Just a few more minutes and I'm done now. So let me just turn this down a minute. Okay. So, you know, generally, guys, you know, the jury's out, isn't it? I think, personally, I think most people like Linda and think she's lovely and think she speaks well of him. But there are some of you that have strong views about her, the way she's lived her life, portraying Elvis in the same sort of way that Priscilla does. So living off the fact that she had been with him for those 4.5 years. I can see Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Hope you're well. So Tracy says that she throws him under the bus, Daddy, but very sweetly. Daddy. Yes, my lovely boy. Let's look at some of Melissa's stuff a minute. What do you want me to write, my friend? Nothing. Okay. Right. Let's have a look. So Melissa. One reason I rant about her is because if Priscilla has said or done something, people would freak out. But Linda's actions are overlooked because of the hate for Priscilla. Daddy, I see your point. Daddy, I need charger. All right, yeah, I'll get it for you. It's all right, but you got to be a little bit quiet. It's time for bed for the kids. It's time for bed. Right, Mummy's upstairs. Right, Yasmin, I am live, so you've got to be a little bit quiet. Right, guys, let's keep going. So Melissa says she was married 3 or 4 times. I don't think her and Elvis would have worked out. Unfortunately, she's still alive. All right, who are we talking about now? We're talking about, let's have a look. All right, Deborah Pageant. So Deborah Pageant is still alive. Is that correct, Linda? I want to do a little video on Deborah Pageant because I'm interested in the friendship they had when they made his first film, Love Me Tender. So what do you think, Melissa? Are we going to do that? A film on Deborah Pageant? Right, let me just look at some of the things that Melissa sent me to do with Linda. Let's have a look. I loved him very much, but we had lots of arguments at the time. Sometimes I hated him. You don't want to know if Elvis Presley's girlfriend writes, this is one reason why I broke up with him in December. I did feel like an appendage of someone. This was not his fault, and it was not mine. People don't even realize your existence. Right, and then it's a question. Do you think he knew you loved him? So Linda says yes. How do you know? I know I always proved it to him. I was... Right, it's too loud a minute. So I have to turn it back. Wow, 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 wow. Right, let me just... Yeah, but I can't hear what I'm reading. I know... Okay. I know I always proved it to him, and I was... Elvis more... Sorry, the writing's very small, guys. Elvis more than any other woman was. I went on all the tours with him and was with him day and night. I never left him. I catered for his needs. I wanted to do that I don't regret having done. I don't think I would ever want to do it again for anybody else, but I was willing to do it for him. He really needed someone to cater for him. And I think, you know, with Melissa, I do think that Melissa feels that when she says that she catered for him and looked after him and basically babied him, people like Melissa and other people that think Linda has a different side to her don't like it. They don't like the way that he's portrayed by Linda Thompson makes him look weak. I think does that sound right to you, Melissa? The next comment. She eventually went home from tour. Thompson and Briggs. So Briggs is the guy she has an affair with. Is either the pianist or the keyboard guy. Thompson and Briggs kept the relationship a secret, but the other members of the band soon discovered their affair. Elvis wasn't aware, but he had met Ginger Alden at this point, and wanted Thompson to go home so she could join him on the road. Right. So it looks to me from these comments that Melissa sent me that Elvis had already gone off her, was moving on. He had his eye on Ginger Alden, and that Linda Thompson was very good friends with, you know, possibly having an affair with David Briggs. Yeah? Does that sound right? Yeah. So Melissa says she makes him out to be a drugged out loser who needed constant supervision like a child. Well, I mean, the interview I watched, Melissa, I wouldn't say that she comes across that she says he's a drugged out person. I thought the interviews I've watched, she definitely says that he was over medicated. She also clearly says it was prescribed medication. She does do that. I think I did see the story where she has said that he would sedate himself, you know, sleeping tablets, and he liked to eat before he went to sleep, and that a few times he nearly choked. There's a story about chicken noodles, but a few times she had to clear his throat, otherwise he would have died. I've heard that a few times. Melissa, have you seen the Loving Elvis doc? No. Let's have a look. Let's go to your next comment. Let's have a look. I heard Lisa say that Elvis called her mother and that she felt like a mother at times. This is Pamela. Thank you, Pamela. Well, yeah, I think I've heard that as well. Is Diana on? Is she? Hi, Diana. I was just asking about you earlier. I thought you'd fallen asleep, Diana. Let's have a look. So one thing for sure, Linda took great care of Elvis, and for that I'm grateful. Okay, Rainbow. Rainbow, I've been reading your comments. Thank you. I'm just going backwards on the comments, guys. Elvis' mum and daughter were the two best females in his life. That's true, Finola. That's very true. How's Stacey? You okay? Right. I'm just trying to go back on some of your comments. Rainbow says he never found his true love. Well, some people think Anita Wood was his true love. Some people think Anne Margaret was his true love. Some people think June Junico was his true love. What do you think, guys? Vivek, the one on Prime, it's an awful documentary, all with random women talking about rubbish. Yes, Linda. That documentary on Prime angers me. Angers me. It's all a bunch of girls being paid money to lie. If only Elvis had his mum, none of this would have happened. I always wish Elvis would have stayed with Anne Margaret. And come on, we love Anne Margaret, guys, don't we? She's probably one of our favourites, but I wouldn't say the favourite, because I think we like Anita Wood. I think we like June Junico. Are there any others that you like, guys? Oh, thanks, Yvette. He is a cutie, isn't he? Hi, Diana. Diana, you're right, Diana. We don't know the truth. It's just speculation and hearsay, and we're repeating things that we've heard before, or we've read before, or we've seen and heard in interviews. You know, let's face it, Elvis died in 1977. So is it 47 years? We're coming up to 47 years, is it? We don't know. We weren't there. We're not flies on the wall. So, you know, we are just defending Elvis Presley channel on YouTube. I'm just at home in the kitchen chatting with you guys about the man that we all admire. And we know that Elvis was a very good man. And yeah, we find it interesting to chat about his girlfriends, ex-girlfriends. You know, it is interesting. And I do think that while we're chatting, we learn a few things. I really do. I understand what Melissa is saying. I get it. I see that there's probably more to the story, isn't there, with Linda Thompson? I see that. So, but I still think in the early years that Linda Thompson was good for Elvis, especially after such a traumatic divorce. The second divorce was horrific. I'm on about the divorce settlement, yeah? He went through hell. And even, you know, it was so traumatic the way he, you know, once Priscilla had this secret affair with Mike Stone and in 1971 and then demanded a divorce in 1972. I know it was more official in 73. I think Elvis must have gone through hell. He was humiliated and embarrassed. And I think Linda Thompson's timing was very good. I think she was there at the right time to get him through that horrible period. I know there was probably other women as well, but Linda Thompson was the main one, wasn't she, for a short period of time. My personal views on Ginger Alden, who seems lovely, is that she was just too young. She was out of her depth. I don't think they were right for each other, but you can see that she's a lovely woman, just in the way that she's interviewed about him and the way she speaks about him. So the documentary that was produced by Suzanne Finstad. So I don't think we've all ever known the truth. I'm glad we aren't defending him from all the horrible things that have been circulated. Yes, we're trying to find some of the good truths. You know, we can't prove or disprove anything really because we weren't there. Yvette, you have a point. A lot of these people, especially Priscilla, went on to have a lot of boyfriends. A lot of boyfriends. I would probably say that Priscilla had the most. You know, I've done Priscilla's boyfriends. We're talking, it could be as many as 20 different men. So you have a point. I adore Anita and Margaret. If it had been his true love, it would have been meant to be. And if it was meant to be, it would, in my opinion, but I'm a helpless spiritual romantic. So Rainbow, can I ask you, do you have a favourite? Rainbow, do you have a favourite of Elvis's ex-girlfriends? Ginger didn't get a fair chance. Well, come on, she was 20 years old, wasn't she? Elvis was 42. It's just different generations, you know? Finola, oh my God, what? What is that? Have I missed something? Ginger's story has never changed, and I'm sure she saw some unflattering things, but has never spoke about them. Colleen, you're right. Ginger has always shown total respect for Elvis. And she didn't say anything, did she, for many years, because she was married with her own family. So I truly think he never met his true love. Hi, Gladys. That's a new name. Gladys, are you new? Have we spoke before? Please tell me. Or have we spoke before? And welcome to our family, Gladys. You're very welcome. Ginger didn't get a fair chance with the public because of people like Linda. This could be true. This could be true. I still think, wasn't it only 8 months? Wasn't Ginger with Elvis just for 8 months? It's such a short period of time, guys. All right. Well, welcome, Gladys. Nice to have you. What country are you in? I'm in Southwest UK. Oh, thank you, Gladys. We love you joining our channel, Team Elvis. I think Anne Margaret was very close to being his true love. Vibex. Hi, Vibex. I'm not going to knock Anne Margaret. She's amazing. I think she's fantastic. I love her. I love watching her. I love everything about her. I love her interviews. She has been so loyal to Elvis. So, yeah. And Elvis loved her right until he died, didn't he, really? I must admit, June Junico is one of my favourites. She is. That beautiful footage. I'm going to play it. That beautiful footage. Every time I play it, it breaks my heart. I love it. Let's have a look. Melissa, do you have a favourite? Melissa, are you there? Who is your favourite of Elvis's ex-girlfriends? I'm just interested to ask you because of your views on Linda.
Think of something to do, and I thought.
Let's see if we can find the nice June Junico bit of footage. Let's have a look. You like June, Anita, and Ginger. Okay, I like it. I like Anita as well. Good choices. Good choices. I just think, as much as I like Ginger, I still think she was too young for him. I really think that was it ever going to work? Let's have a look. I'm trying to find this footage.
Daily Herald did an interview with me after we went to Memphis. Total strangers wanted to rip my eyes out. You know, you think you're really something, and you're not. You know, you're trash and all this kind of stuff. But you just overlook stuff like that. Elvis had said that he had a vacation coming up and he was going to come and spend it in Biloxi. And so sure enough, the first part of June, Elvis arrived in Biloxi. We had stayed in touch by phone, and I didn't really know when he was coming in. And he told my mother, he said, well, tell June I'm sorry I missed her, but I'm on my way to Florida where I can get some peace and quiet. So me and my girlfriend jump in her car, parked on a hillside that we could see all the traffic leaving Biloxi, so I could stop him. We sat there for a good 2 hours, no sign of Elvis. So when I get back home again, my mother is just frantic. She said, Elvis has called here half a dozen times, wanting to know where you are. And I said, well, I've been trying to stop him from leaving town.
Elvis tells the press he's heading for Florida, but his plan is to stay in Biloxi and spend time with June. Still, he can't get away from fans or reporters. That evening, Elvis and June are reunited at Coco's restaurant. Over dinner, Elvis relates his dilemma to June's mother's boyfriend, Eddie Bellman.
Well, when I first met him, he had to leave the motel down here in Biloxi because of the fact that people found out he was there, and they kept coming by and banging on his door and everything.
He was registered at the Sun and Sand Hotel under the name of Arthur Hooten, one of his buddies' names. That's a real name, Arthur Hooten.
Rarely traveling alone, Elvis has come to Biloxi with Arthur, whose mother once worked with Elvis's mom. Red West, who it's said became Elvis's friend because he once stopped high school football players from giving Elvis a haircut in the locker room. And Elvis's cousin Gene Smith, who seems to just go where Elvis goes.
So I said, Elvis, I got a couple of houses, and I said, I can let you have one of them. If you and your friends want to stay there, you can come to the house and stay. I said, it's already furnished and all. And he said, I think that would be nice. And I took him in my car so people wouldn't recognize that Cadillac of his.
Meanwhile, the press and the general public and everyone had figured out that he was there.
The first thing, the crowd was all around the house, aggravating him. Come on out, Elvis, and give us your signature. Come on out and sing for us.
He had no privacy there.
He was trying to get a little rest and take a nap, and he just couldn't. So he said, Eddie said, I guess I'm going to have to go somewhere else.
He rented a family-owned house.
Let's try and let's see if we can get to the footage. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night. Let's have a look.
Invite his mother and on the way back to Biloxi, Elvis
chartered a boat, and he was just a real Southern gentleman. And Eddie admired that, so he thought he would arrange a deep sea fishing trip. He had a friend that had a charter boat.
That was the first trip he'd ever been on as far as deep sea fishing or any kind of fishing. So Elvis enjoyed it so much. On the way back to Biloxi, Elvis asked if I could arrange to get the boat again because he wanted to invite his mother and father down to go with us.
He called them long distance. We were all in the room with him. And he said, I want y'all to come down Saturday morning and go fishing.
His mother and father came down the next day, and I met him.
We met the mother and the daddy, Mr. and Miss Presley, on a Friday night. And they didn't know how to get to Guff Hills. I said, I'm June's mother. This is Mr. Bellman, and y'all follow us, and we'll take you to Elvis. Who else has a pink Cadillac but the Presleys?
It's Friday the 13th, the day RCA releases Hound Dog and Don't Be Cruel. By the end of Elvis's vacation in Biloxi, the record will sell 1 million copies.
The following day, we went fishing again. And his mother and father fished, Elvis fished, all his friends fished, June fished, everybody fished. I didn't fish. I was busy taking film, taking footage with my little 8mm camera. I asked Elvis, would he mind? He said, no, you take all you want.
Elvis was reeling in sharks and everything else, and it was something new to him.
We just killed a fish that day. Just had them strung up like you just wouldn't believe. I think Mrs. Presley brought a jar of peanut butter. She brought bananas too. Somehow during the day, she managed to make him a peanut butter and banana sandwich, which we all came to call an Elvis Presley sandwich.
His mother was looking after Elvis like he was a young child, and she kept bringing him peanut butter sandwiches while he was fishing. And she was handing it to him and feeding him while he was fishing. And that's a fact. It's on the film. All that's on the film.
Before he started eating, she was holding it for him to take bites. Evidently, she wasn't feeding him fast enough or something, so he took it and was eating it. Fishy hands and everything.
I brought a bunch of German officers' caps back from Germany with me during World War II. And I gave them to Elvis and all his friends.
And Eddie, knowing that we should have had hats on to be out in the hot sun that length of time, brought those hats for us to put on to fish to keep the sun out of our faces.
They put on the caps and they started singing on the boat here. I think they sang Hound Dog and Don't Be Cruel, and that's two I remember.
That stick is a boom on top of the boat, and it looked like a giant microphone. He was just standing up there, and he saw this big thing, and he went behind it and started pretending he was singing to this tall And it wasn't. It was just the boom on the boat. It was funny. Elvis was funny.
Elvis and June don't care much about their lack of privacy. Could life get any better?
I'm making a 5-minute appearance at my shoe department. I had a ladies' shoe department and a ladies' wear store. I had a leased shoe department. And he said, "Sure, Eddie, I'll be glad to come by." So people started pouring in down here from all directions. They had the whole police department out there directing traffic, and they had to let them in shifts. And they like to tore the man's store up, but he didn't mind that. He got so much good.
Just a lovely story. Do you know what? I could sit here and play that all night. I was sort of zoning off to that because I just love, I really, really buy into that summer romance that Elvis had. I think it was in '56, just before Anita Wood, I think. Yeah, she's definitely one of my favorites, seriously. And I just imagine being on that boat fishing with Elvis and the guys and Gladys and Vernon, and the sun shines just bearing down on us all, and Elvis looking happy and clapping with his hat on. He's smoking his cigarello. His mum's feeding him his peanut butter and jelly and banana sandwich. I would say that was one of the happiest summer of Elvis's life, because he had reached the peak of his career, hadn't he? Because he'd made a few movies. He'd released. He'd had some massive hits. I don't think fame had changed him that much, even though he was famous and they were living in Graceland probably. You could still sense the essence of pre-fame Elvis, I think, in that footage. I think you can tell that fame hasn't altered him. Yes, he's excited to be alive. He's loving where he is in life. He's loving being with his friends, his parents, with June Junico. But that is to me, that's the real Elvis. And I think that's the essence of Elvis, the Elvis that we all fell in love with. Even though many of us found him years later, we still look back to Elvis in the late 50s as that humble, naive, beautiful, charming, generous, loving, fun person. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to go. Do you want to come and say goodbye? Do you want to sit on my lap? Come and sit down and say goodbye. So, Yasmin, how old are you?
7.
Well, we were singing If I Can Dream, weren't we?
Yeah.
Do you remember any of it? If I can dream.
I got my nails.
Oh, you want to show your nails? We were singing If I Can Dream. What film did we watch tonight?
Elvis.
What Elvis film was it? It was the one by Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Tonight we watched Austin Butler's Elvis, and she liked If I Can Dream. Was there any other bits in it you liked?
Did they do the Christmas one?
Yeah, he was supposed to sing a Christmas song, but then we had Bobby Kennedy was assassinated not long after Martin Luther King. So Elvis decided he wanted to sing a song, and If I Can Dream. All my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, oh why? Go on, why can't my dreams come true? She loves it. She loves it. We had a good talk. Yeah, I'm making the kids watch it, something Elvis every day. So anyway, Elvis Week's coming up, isn't it, guys? I wonder how many of you are going to Elvis Week. Yasmin, you want to go to Elvis Week? Yeah. So thanks for Melissa for her input with tonight's live stream, because she did send me loads of things. I like to think we did get a rounded view of Linda Thompson, and I like her. I understand that she made lots of money from Elvis, and she still makes money from him now, but I like her. I actually think her being at Elvis Week is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I tell you what, I'd rather see Linda there than Priscilla. Yeah. How about you guys?
What about Deborah?
A virtual. Yeah, some of you are doing the virtual tour at Elvis Week, aren't you? Let's have a look. Yeah, Deborah's back now. We fixed Deb. Deborah, are you there? We fixed Deborah. Look, Deborah. Hi. She said hi, Yasmin. Deborah's back. I'm so glad that somehow we managed to get Deborah blocked by accident. I don't know how it happened. Yeah, we'd rather Linda than Priscilla. We agree there. I think we do agree with that. Yeah.
What about like Deborah and Stacy and Woody?
Oh, Deborah, we fixed you, and you're a mod again. You're a moderator again. So, Chris has got a virtual ticket. He's a lucky man. I mean, I could do it, I suppose. I know Rhonda and Shauna are going to be there. Rhonda off Presley Mania and Shauna off Tenderly Loving Elvis are going to be there. So that's it. Okay, guys, it's time to go. There's 42 of you watching. Please subscribe. It helps the channel out. We've had a nice night. We had a nice chilled evening together. You lot have been great company. So bye to Team Elvis. Yasmin, say bye, Team Elvis. No, she's right. Okay. Team Elvis taking care. Say Team Elvis taking care of business.
Bye.
Team Elvis. After 3, we'll say it together. Team Elvis, yeah? 1, 2, 3.
Team
Bye, Team. All right,
Elvis.
we'll do it your way. 1, 2, 3. Team Elvis.
Elvis.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless to all of you. Thanks for any new people that have come in. Thanks, everyone. It's been great. I'm so pleased that Deborah is back with us again. I've loved it. We've had a great time. Let's have a wave. See ya.